As far as like being creative with how somebody says something is like what I always was intrigued by, like the sound of something. Because I'm personally not like a lyrical first person. You know what I mean? Like I don't care about lyrics. I care about like the sound of what I'm creating. So if that doesn't sound good at first, then I can't get into the song. So like when I grew up on Sugar Free, it was always like hard beats that were also way different. And then like obviously him spitting on a way different level, like almost like E42. And certain artists that like really use their voice rapping wise, like to really be energetic and like do different things and be versatile with their voice throughout like one record. So like when I listen to Gahdamn, that was a huge thing for me. Is like, how do I take this beat that's obviously not from like my region? It was a Bay Area beat, which I knew, and was like, how do I bring like myself to this? Whether it's a message, whether it's my cadence, whatever it is, like I have to bring Kairee Doty to it, so people aren't just like, yo, this just sounds like some shit from the Bay that he ripped off. You know what I mean? So
do you write your stuff down?
yeah, I write everything.
You write every day?
Nah, I write really intentional, like in the moment. So just only when I'm recording, like going to record, is when I'm writing. Otherwise, I kind of just like consume, whether it's reading or like human interaction, and then I take that to like whatever I'm feeling. But it's hard. It's really hard for me to read away or to write away from a microphone. So I got to be able to like rap it, you know, right away.
All right. How do you get people to actually listen to your music when you're just starting out?
Because in today's like content is everything, you're competing with so many people, so you have to focus on how you're going to visually show your record. You know what I mean? I think as far as just a song nowadays, obviously people kind of don't care if you just post a link to a song. So really get into the visual side of your music and how you can portray that. And then once you're able to like post consistently and show your music to people, it's just easier for people to gravitate towards something they can actually see. And that also is another craft, you know what I mean? So that's why I record everything myself, and I learned that for myself, so I can not have to rely on people to put out a lot of content, so I can be consistent and be in people's algorithms and stuff.
All right. What does your first show look like, and how do you book it?
Shit. Hey, my first show was in like 2018, bro. Shout out my cousin Rodney and my boy Coleman. Coleman has a clothing brand now too, but back then they was doing Volley clothing. Yeah, Volley clothing was fire. The first show was at the time it was called Club Fourth. It was like behind, downtown Tucson, and man, there was nobody there, man. Nobody. In my head, I'm just thinking this show was gonna be popping because I had never like. I mean, this is my first show. I'm like, okay, it's about to be. I mean, it's a show, and it was like all local artists. And one dude pulled up, and he had like all his friends. He had like 20, 30 people with him. So I'm like, hey, bro, let me go on before you, so I can so they can see my music, see me go crazy. And, yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, but he didn't let me go before him. So like he performed, and then all his people left, and I'm like, I had to go after him with nobody in the venue except for my family. Man, it was terrible. It was terrible. And then I'm performing, so like it was my music. Like when I first started, obviously, like it was potential there, but I was not that good. But I'm sitting there performing, and the DJ that was like playing everybody's music, he ended up like stopping the song almost to do like, if like you're at an actual show and they stop the song to like say so the crowd could say something, the crowd could like take that word or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So basically, he literally stopped my track instead of just muting it. So when it came back, I'm rapping like I'm still on beat, but I'm like now 3 seconds ahead, and I didn't realize. So I get to a part, and I can't hear that well either because like there's no monitors facing me, so I can't hear the music as much as like they can hear it like out in the crowd.
Oh, okay.
So I can kind of hear it, but I'm not really hearing it. So it gets to a part where like the beat drops, and I like jump, like you're ready to get hype, and this shit don't drop. And I'm like, yo, he messed me up. Like he straight messed me up. And I just heard somebody in the crowd go, what they say? They're just like, hey, you got it, bro. Like, keep going. But it was like one of those like cheer on, like this is a terrible. Bro. I had bad braids, and my braids was terrible that day. It was bad. My first experience was bad, man. But luckily it was my first experience rather than like a really good experience. If then that happened, I'd have been like, what the hell is this? I'd have felt like a failure, bro.
Do you do open mics?
I'm super isolated. Man, I'm usually somebody that like I figured out how to mix my own music, make my own music.
Okay, what's the best thing you did early on that helped you grow your audience?
Nice. A little better. Did I? What's up, y'all? Mike 2. If I got better at networking and genuinely like getting out my comfort zone, I think I would grow a lot faster. So I always wanted to work with somebody that already kind of knew what they were doing and understood the craft. So it's the same thing with music and anything that I'm doing. It's really hard to rely on people that don't get it, and it's because they're not really into the craft like that. And really, the biggest thing is if you're gonna have, I don't know, $2,000 for a budget of something, spend literally like 70% of that shit on marketing if you can. You know what I mean? like whatever you guys see is what I love. So there's nothing nobody can tell me at that point that would make me feel any type of way about my work. You know what I mean?
How do you balance being an artist and promoting yourself as a business? Like, how do you separate?
An artist, so your art should never, when you're creating, you should never be thinking about the consumer in your creative process. You should only think about business, the business side, after the creative process is completely done. So it's not plaguing the, like, you know what I mean, your creativity. At the end of the day, like I said, to me, to be the most authentic is the easiest way to relate to people. So when I'm creating, I'm always thinking about exactly what I'm going through, or maybe a conversation I might have had like with a peer or with somebody else that I could take. Then I mean, then the business side comes in. On top of that, like I said, the networking, all that is business in. But when I got back into music, it definitely was like there's no pressure. I'm not looking at it to be big anymore. And of course, as soon as I went into it, the song ended up exploding and kind of putting me right back into, the lifestyle of like, going to network, flying to LA, doing all this stuff. What I learned with the music industry is that it's a schedule. So you wake up at 9 a.m. Our time, you wake up at 9 a.m. and you get on calls immediately. 9 a.m. to about 3. And you're just talking to labels, talking to A&Rs who are trying to recruit you to labels, and you're trying to find the best deal for yourself. You're trying to, you know what I mean? It's literally a job. It's crazy. So for a while, I did fall back out of love with it because it was like, I'm not creating no more. And I think for me, what I learned is, as long as I'm always doing something for myself and creating for myself, I will be able to balance this lifestyle. You have to be like, I've been doing this for 8 years. Imagine doing something, not making money for 8 years, and like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So exactly. So you know what it takes to go. Okay, like if this was for money, I would have been gone. So this might be a passion, or this might be something that I genuinely want to do. And then now it's just like, it's just reflecting. Like for myself, I used to blame other people for why I wasn't as big until I looked in the mirror and was like, okay, what can I do to change my situation? You feel me? So yeah, I think that's really what changed for me. Was like, okay, I need to learn videography. I need to learn all this, so I'm not having to pay people.
What role has the community played in your growth?
The most thing I've felt in person is being at the clubs and like hearing my music at the clubs, and how they promote me. Yeah, how they promote me in the clubs is crazy. That's dope. Like that's super dope. I didn't, and a lot of DJs just did it out of like love. Like I didn't have to reach out to people and send them my song. Probably just started playing it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the perks of the traction that the song had. Like I'm not good at networking, so that song allowed for people to come to me rather than go to people too. So that's like a huge blessing to me. I'm like, I'm not good at going to people, so that's all made a whole bunch of people just come and reach out to me and want to work. And I took advantage of that. I've had like doubts. I've had doubts where I'm like, bro, I don't want to do this no more or nothing. And it's always something that happens that like reminds me like, hey, this is something that I love to do and I'm supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? People don't understand. Like my boy actually, I was recording right here, and my boy came by on a bike. I went to high school with him. He was like, bro, you out here filming? And I was like, yeah, man. I'm like, this is the part that see though. Like they think I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I be working. I be out here like all the time, just like recording and just having content. So I'm always like ready. Whereas like, I don't know, I feel like people they're waiting for something to come and help them. You know what I mean? And I get it, but nah, you got to get up and get it on your own, right? I think creatively it's because I'm so in control over myself. I like to be in control over my work, to where the many times that I have allowed other people to work on my visuals or whatever it may be, it never comes out exactly how I want it. So for me, it's a waste of time. I'd rather just knock it out myself, get it exactly how I want it, and move on. You know what I mean?
But what's something else that you're still working on mastering, either musically or personally?
Personal. Well, personally, I'm somebody that's like, I'm super irritable, bro. I'm irritable as hell. I've just been working on being a little more patient with people. That's been my life. So what's dope is like that could lead into even like the project that I just finished. It's called Don't Stress About It. What's so dope about the project is kind of like the last 6 months of my life, from like everything from like all my flaws. I'm always gonna talk about my flaws. I'm very reflective of my art, so you'll hear a lot about exactly where I feel like I'm flawed as a human. From creative shit to even just like you said, just personal. I don't know. I think that's my biggest flaw is networking. 1,000%. I think I've had enough time in the industry, at least now, to like genuinely understand what I need to do and what I don't really care or don't need. And networking is something you have to be able to work with other people. And I mean, you can't get nowhere by yourself. You have to just do it. I think that's the only way to get better at it, is to genuinely go outside and do it. Like I remember the first 4 months of Gahdamn, like I had to. Like I was just in rooms. I had to. You have to take all the opportunities. You never know. Like, you might not like something, but you never know.
All right, this next game is called Bar for Bar. So we're gonna have random words shouted out to you,
Okay.
and then you have to come up with a quick bar on the spot. Your first word is coffee.
Coffee. Damn. Damn, what the hell is a coffee? Why you kick this hard ass? Came through trying to get bread, but you gotta tell them this is not me. I need some energy around this motherfucker. Tell the homie bring the coffee. I don't know, bro. Coffee the hardest. I don't think I've ever run coffee. Yeah.
Your next word is hoodie.
Hoodie. Man, went out last night. Shorty gave me a woody. Took her to the crib. Had to get a girl my hoodie.
Your next word's backpack.
Backpack. Damn. Okay. Had to pull up to the dispensary, get myself a fat pack. Ain't big enough for the wallet, so I threw it in the backpack. Woo!
Your next word is mirror.
Mirror. She tried to pass me the pen while I was driving. I said I couldn't steer. They said I look good. That's a fact. Never needed a mirror.
Studio. Don't be afraid.
Nah. Let's see. On the weekends, gotta pull up to the studio. Do my little dance past the assist on my Ricky Rubio. You know I was gonna bring a name up, huh?
SpongeBob.
These are the hardest. This is ridiculous. I don't know. How about this? I'm gonna turn the game on your ass and just turn the camera around on you. I'm like, what's SpongeBob? That's hard as hell. All right, check me out. Grew up on SpongeBob. Nigga taught me a lot. How to be friendly. Now I'm talking a lot, but not really, cause my networking sucks. SpongeBob on the TV, nigga taught me how to get bucks. Right? You don't gotta rhyme it. Don't gotta rhyme. We just gotta throw it in there.
Yeah, that's literally the whole point.
My bad. I was trying to rhyme every word.
Next, skirt.
Skirt. All right. Pull up on the block like skirt. Hit a little nail with the.
Do you only base it on rhyming when you write a lyric?
Yeah, that's a huge part. Because to me, I always have to think of the next bar or how I'm gonna end it. So then that structures the whole thing. Like, okay, I know I have this rhyme right here, but I want it to end 3 bars later with this. So then it's like fill in the blank.
This next game is called Stage Dive or Go Home. Would you ever open for an artist you don't like?
Yeah. 1000%.
Would you perform for a crowd of 3 people? I think we mentioned this before.
Nope.
But you did. You said
I did already, but it wasn't my choice. If I knew that 3 people were gonna be there, I'm going home. I'm about to play a game or some shit.
Drop a song you're not 100% proud of just to stay consistent.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. If it's like if it's at the detriment of like they might be able to put out nothing, then yes. But more times than not, no.
Would you do a collab just because the artist has clout?
Yep. It's a business movement.
Would you change your sound just to go viral?
I technically did.
You technically did.
Technically did.
So, goddamn.
Yeah.
Would you freestyle on a first date?
Absolutely not. Hell no.
Would you sign with the label right now, but you have no creative control?
No.
Ooh! Ooh!
Come on now.
Ooh!
On the podcast today, Darlene's podcast. I don't know what it's called yet, but we already got a sponsor for it.
Snob TV.
What is it called?
Snob TV.
It is that. That's your podcast? I know it was a podcast.
What's a comment?
That's funny.
What's a comment that has stuck with you then?
There was a comment that told me, a dude told me, don't sign, you're worth too much. And I was like, I had a deal on the table, and when I read that comment, it made me think about it completely different, because when you are offered money, all it's showing you is that you're worth more than what they're offering, that you are worth something, right? So if they're going to go, okay, we'll give you this much money for this record or for a deal, then you know, okay, they're valuing me here, but I value myself more, so let me hold off and show that I can even be worth more. So when I come back a year from now for another deal, that number is 10 times more. You know what I mean? So.
Do you run your own social media?
Yeah.
Is it hard to manage?
Nah,
when
I
you're
don't
in
be
this
honest.
industry?
This is how I use social media personally. Like, so I'll go in there, I'll post what I need to post. Whether it's like a story to stay in the algorithm, but if it's an actual post, it's more so like I'll post this, and I kind of just let people run with it. You know what I mean? For me, I kind of believe in still being very like not to kind of have a mystique. You know what I mean? You kind of have you can't show yourself too much because you become like very. I don't know, people feel like they know you. Like when we look at artists that we grew up on, like you said, like Frank Ocean, like people don't know that much about Frank, and it makes you really interested in Frank from when he does drop. So like to me, that's like important to like kind of not really give people anything personal or too much, to where when the art comes, you're gonna learn a lot about, you know, myself. I'd rather speak to my art, and that's good advice I got from some RSM.
All right, Kairee, we're back again because I messed up the first time.
All right, how do you book your concerts?
And how do I book them? I mean, rarely do I reach out. Luckily, off my song, I've been blessed to like have opportunities for people to hit me up and do shows and stuff like that. So that's kind of usually how it goes for me. Is people will hit me up to come do a show. I am doing a show though with Fora in a couple months, which I hit him up because like he followed me off of his, or when I dropped Gahdamn, he followed me and he's like always kind of kept in contact. And with him, he literally just posted that he's going on tour. I seen him with the Tucson, so I literally like DM'd him and was like, "Hey, bro, when you get out here, like let me open up for you." He's like, "Cool." So sometimes it's that easy, just to network.
When is that concert?
That's on September 9th, I'm pretty sure. I think it's September 9th.
So sorry that I had to call you again for a second one.
No, we're
because
good.
I lost my second microphone, so just bear with me, guys.
And she's talking too loud into the mic.
Oh, I am. What's something you want your followers to know about you?
I love McDonald's.
What's something you want to like let people know is like the hardest thing about starting this type of thing?
I would say the hardest thing about starting or getting into anything you want to do is it's going to take you a long time to like be successful or see success in it, whether that's financial or I don't know, like a peace of mind of doing something, either or, like mentally and like physically. It's very challenging to do something you love because as much as you love something, it's very hard to get people to accept it how you want it to. So it's just a journey. Like for me, it's been 8 years before a song even went like crazy. So you have to genuinely love something to be doing something for 8 years and not see like at least the acknowledgement that you would want. You know what I mean? So me having that now, it's like the pressure's off because like every artist that I've ever looked up to outside of one, and that's Kendrick Lamar, right? I've spoke to all of them. So it's like to me, as far as like wanting to be acknowledged and like respected or seen as like a peer in music, that's like off the checklist. So now it's just create and just like I can have fun with it. But nonetheless, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's really hard to find your niche and especially creatively. You know what I mean? But that's anything. If you're like doing entrepreneurship in any way, like it'll take you a long time. I would say for the first like couple months after Gahdamn, it wasn't fun because it turned into a business real quick for me. So like I had to like learn all the business stuff like really quick to where like my creativity suffered. You know what I mean? But then you find like a balance, like with anything else. Like I found a balance to where like okay, like I know I only have to do so much business in a day to where before I can create, you know what I mean? Or some days I'll just create and some days I'll just do business. Like, but it's a balance. You have to find that because both are important. But it becomes a job. Yeah, I mean, people follow their passion. You realize like if you genuinely want to be successful, your passion, it's gonna have to become a job. Yeah, it has to become a job. And you're doing that more than if you are working. You know what I mean? Like you have to put more time into that, and that's a hard truth to accept for a lot of people because people just want to be like, oh, like. It doesn't matter what, even if you play like video games and it becomes a job, like it's going to feel that way. You know what I mean? So you have to always kind of like keep that love for something and love why you want to do something.
I have a question. No, but you'll ask
a message from our sponsors.
Was there ever a point where you got was there ever a point where you got super discouraged, and how did you get through it?
Did I ever get discouraged? Like 4 times, like 4 like real times where I like stopped and gave up and like literally was like trying to sell everything that I had that was like from my laptop to everything just so like either because I needed money. Like one thing is like the last time I stopped was because of like actual financial issues. Like I just couldn't afford to try to push music without like the return, you know what I mean? So I kind of had to step away. But I think that for me was like something that I needed to learn, you know what I mean? Because since I graduated, it was only music and music and music. I didn't even like really get into like the workforce or genuinely know how to be like an adult outside of creating. So like me having to like grow up and genuinely get a fucking job, and I got a job that was like management, so it wasn't like just some bullshit. Like I'm going in, I'm having to be like assertive and you know what I mean, stuff like that, and hold people accountable. So that like helped me grow a lot as a person and how to, even like we were talking about last time, networking. It became easier to speak to people because I genuinely know how to speak from like not assertive, but like just more confidently to people. You know what I mean? I've been discouraged 4 full times, man, and just like I think for me, music is the one thing that always came back because I've done a lot of different things and a lot of things have came and went, but music was like after a while, it's just like I have something to say. And if a microphone's around, like I'm for sure going to like I need to speak. I need to speak. You know what I mean?
What were your favorite artists growing
up? Kendrick, Sugar Free was like top 2. It was like influential wise, probably them 2. Then I grew up on I would say I grew up on a lot of R&B more than rap, just because like my mom, you know what I mean? She used to bump like Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill.
So if you could do a song on top of an old song, what beat would you choose?
Damn, there's some cold ass like old productions. I don't know. Actually, one of my favorite, I guess, like reiterations of a song is Erykah Badu has a song that J. Cole sampled called "Too Deep" for the intro, and I think the song is "Didn't You Know" by Erykah Badu, and like the bass line on that song is crazy. So that's my favorite like production ever. So to me, if I could do any song, it would be "Didn't You Know" by Erykah Badu.
If you were to make a playlist, what would be your top 5 songs on there? Or the ones you listed?
Didn't You Know?
Yeah.
"Man at the Garden" by Kendrick Lamar. You gotta hear that song. You ain't heard that. That's a phenomenal record. Give me a Chris Brown record. Give me Poppin'.
Like
Give me Poppin' by Chris Brown. That's one of the coldest songs ever. Juicy by Biggie. Right? I forgot what the name's called of the song, but it's a DMX song. How's It Going Down? That's what it's called. It's called How's It Going Down. Those are my 5.
All right.
Put on
Put your arm down. All right. Besides the concert coming up in September, what are you working on currently?
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Nothing. All crazy? Nothing. Nah. I am pretty like secretive about my stuff, but we got an EP coming out probably within 2 weeks. It's literally like done. I'm just waiting for like the final like masters to come back. But other than that, 2 weeks I'm gonna drop. It's gonna be like a surprise for everybody. So I can't wait to put that out, and then I'm probably gonna perform that song that project at the show. A lot of visuals. Basically, the way I'm planning it is to drop like a trailer. Once the trailer comes out, the whole EP will be out, and then for the next like 2-3 months, it's gonna be straight visuals that support. That support it. I'm trying to do like short films for it as well. So each song will have like almost like a story to kind of give you context of the song, at least from my perspective. So that should be also dope because I love film. I'm somebody that like really enjoys film. So
I enjoy your visuals.
Yeah, to bring that back in and like do like a little more with it. Which, thank you. But yeah, the reason I got good at visuals because I like took it when I stopped doing music. I was at least able to do film and just practice how to make shit look good.
What tools do you use to edit your videos?
Oh yeah, I use Premiere, which is probably the easiest. I would say it's the easiest editing platform. Just YouTube some shit anything you want to know, to YouTube it. There's like 1-minute videos for like everything, like really quick videos that teach you everything. If you're more into like colors and like color grading your footage, which really isn't for people that's like for like cinema cameras and stuff that can like some nerd shit, right? We'll get into it later on. But cinema camera stuff, like the new camera I just got, that's gonna let me like really color grade and like change colors and stuff. So if you're doing that, DaVinci Resolve is the better option, and it's free. DaVinci Resolve is fully free; you don't got to pay for it at all, and it has damn near everything that Premiere has.
We're excited to see what you have in store for us. Especially excited for September 9th. Where is it going to be at?
Rialto.
At the Rialto.
Tucson, Arizona.
In Tucson, Arizona.
Come on now.
Fora.
At the end of every episode, we ask a question to the next guest. What would you ask them?
How do you deal with controversy? Easy one.